us remember the frustration of the previous elections. We wanted Gore, they got Bush. You wanted Clinton, you got Trump. In 2000 and 2016, it was a big blow to many of us. Understandably, there were two big questions that went around for the next decade or so. Is my vote relevant? And is the Electoral College a broken system? National Archives on July 12, 2024 states, the Founding Fathers established the Electoral College in the Constitution in part as compromise between the election of the president by a vote in Congress and the election of the president by the popular vote of qualified citizens. Today, I will argue that the Electoral College is needed, however, it can be reformed. First, I will go over the problem, the cause, and the solution for the Electoral College. What exactly is the problem and the concerns of the people? Well, connections of U.S. funds on August 19, 2024 reveals these concerns. Some votes hold more weight than others. Based on the structures of the state and popular representation, some people's votes hold more weight per delegate. They're ignoring the will of the popular vote. What's going on there? After all, 2.8 plus million people voted for Clinton in 2016, not Trump. And yet we got Trump. Outdated. The Electoral College does not seem relevant nowadays. We have more states, more people. We're higher advanced in technology. So shouldn't that mean that we know better than the Founding Fathers? Faithless electors. It is a big frustration when we elect these electors who go behind our backs and fail to pull through with their promise. Republican View on March 18, 2018 reveals that within 200 years there have been 700 total proposals which either suggested to reform the Electoral College or abolish it altogether. Now, what exactly are the causes and the origin of the Electoral College? What were the Founding Fathers thinking? Britannica, May 21st, 2024, reveals historians have suggested a variety of reasons for the adoption of the Electoral College, including the concerns for the separation of power, relationships between the legislature and executive branches, slavery, and the balance between large and small states. Not to mention the perceived threat of direct democracy. What is direct democracy but the majority overpowering the minority opinions? We have a risk of a pure republic, which can lead to dictatorship, which has indeed made Rome fall. And the Founding Fathers actually looked to the Roman Republic as one of the examples of the government we have today. We are a democratic republic for the people, by the people, and with the people. The people have the power, and the government is meant to protect the people's rights, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. National Review on July 3rd, 2015 reveals the thought process of the Founding Fathers. They had a concrete idea of what freedom was. It states, British law, they came from England. British law once forbade non-Anglican Protestants from worshiping freely. That includes Jews, Catholics, and other denominations. This happened in the 16th, between the 16th and the 17th century. Only not long before the founding fathers were in America. The punishments, the most severe ones, could include jail time for however long, depending on how long you've been worshiping, and the death, even torture. The the English were very, very creative with their torture methods. On a lighter note, they would fine you if you dissented from their rule. You wouldn't be able to be, they were not allowing Catholics and other Protestants and Jews to have a political voice. You weren't allowed to have an office of power. You were not given the liberty to have a greater education that you would have originally deserved. There were no positions for other religions. So this religious persecution went on in England, and the founding fathers wanted better for the people. Heritage Foundation on May 11, 2020 states, to win the Electoral College, the candidate must appeal to a wide array of geographic, economic, and social interests. The minority voice of the states that have a minor population. A lot of them have different industries. They have also other traditions. For example, what about the Amish in Maryland or Pennsylvania? I wish I remembered which one. The Amish, we have the Jewish communities, we have a variety of ethnic groups, such as African Americans. A bigger population of them are in Georgia, Virginia, and North Carolina. There are Mexicans in New Mexico, Arizona, and they need to be protected as well. Where is their voice? These are swing states. The Electoral College is the tool that protects these voices. Now, what exactly are some solutions that we can use as alternatives for the election system? It is true that there is a process in order to reform the Electoral College if you are still opposed to it. So, the process is required of amending the Constitution, and that requires that Congress proposes an amendment and the 2/3 of the House must affirm that it's okay. Then it goes to the Senate. 2/3 of the Senate must approve the decision. Then it goes to the states, and at least 38 states must approve of the change in the Constitution. This has happened only 27 times in U.S. history, out of that 700 we mentioned prior. News Center of Maine, October 16, 2020, introduces also another alternative, one alternative for an election system. Now, I cannot give details. Oh, no. Now, the candidate who wins one electoral vote, candidates can win one electoral vote per congressional district. So if you win the whole state, you get 2 electoral votes. Ballotpedia on July 15, 2024 reveals a second form of an election system, and that is rank-based voting. It is a rank-based choice voting system where you choose candidates based on your preference. They list off the candidates, and then you go by which one you want first versus the second, and so on. Now, we went over the problems, the cause, and the solutions. These are alternatives that we can explore more if you are still not convinced that we need the Electoral College. Now, or if it needs reform. Now, I would be a fool to say that the Electoral College was perfect. However, I would be a greater fool to say that the Founding Fathers didn't know what they were doing, because the Electoral College is here still, and for a reason.